And we're back with some more oxygen not included. And today, we gotta do some major cleaning up around here. This base is, well, it looks like a base that was put together in 100 cycles or so, and then no one looked at it again since. We need to fix this. Cooling is all messed up. We're using Wheezeworts. There's no real temperature control here. The place is starting to freeze. It's starting to freeze parts of the base. Ooh, actually, would that kill the critters? Nah, the critters are fine for now, but yeah, no, we need to fix that. At the same time, we need to provide cooling for this desalinator as well. Got to remember, that's actually providing the oxygen. At the same time, we also want to get rid of this. This is the last big hot splotch in the entire base, and I thought, let's just throw a whole bunch of steam turbines at it and see what that does. We've tried the nuclear waste approach a couple of times. I just want to see how much different it is when we throw steam turbines at the problem. Oh, and I'm going to expand out this a little bit. Right now, we're trying to sweep up all this debris we've got lying around the place, and unfortunately, there's many thousands of tons of this stuff lying about the place. There's 82 tons of igneous rock on that tile. This tile here has more, like there's just, nope, I'm not going to worry about that. First up though, before we even start on cooling, I want another Atmosuit dock. This one here keeps running out of oxygen. I want two Atmosuit docks facing this direction, and since we no longer need this area down here, I say we rip it out, and we put in another Atmosuit dock, actually right below here. Yeah, we can drop the entire pool down a level. Perfect. Out of sight, out of mind. Well, okay, move down a couple of layers. That used to be our mushroom farm from very early on. It's amazing how long that lasted. I was going to stick in another Atmosuit dock down here, but then I realized, let's just extend it back a bit. We've got the room. It's just a case of moving all of these things down a level. We've got the space for them, so why not do it? Only takes a second. And we can get rid of this all through here, copy and paste anything down. Oh, actually, we will copy your settings down there, just to make sure that if we need any Atmosuits repaired, they will get repaired. Now, it's probably, oh god, yeah, it's a little bit complicated around here in terms of gases and power, but we can figure something out. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll probably run it off the same power supply, but this entire thing's going to have to be extended the whole way back, and though, yeah, that natural gas is going to have to maybe do a little bit of a detour, or we're going to have to get it up there some other way. I think we can actually make this work with just some minor adjustments. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And all 10 of them will line up just nice and neatly. That will hop over the gas line. Now we just got to figure out how we're going to redo all the oxygen piping, because that is a mess. Just, ugh. You know what? Let's put in a cooling solution real quick, then we'll worry about the gas piping. Oh, and for the cooling solution, we might want to start replacing some of the stuff around here. In fact, let's just go with full plastic. I think that's the way to go this late game. Why not? I just got to remember to be careful about a few things. The first one is, I can't overwrite some of the natural tiles. We're using that to get a little bonus here. We should have nature reserve. Yeah, so keep the nature reserve tiles. Everything else, though, needs to go. There is so much random junk about this base. See that block there? Do you know why this storage bin is there? This used to store uranium, so it was close enough to, I think it was some uranium lamps we had for doing all the early research. We finished the research like 1,000 cycles ago, and that still exists. I have no idea why. Those hospital beds, I never even made a proper hospital. I just chucked those in to deal with all the scaldings we're getting. Oh, down here we still have the gym. I think that can go. Everyone's trained up. We also no longer need these incubators. We stopped running ranches in here ages ago. Oh, yeah, and the ranches can go too. This was used for seed duplication when we were messing around with trying to get enough sleet wheat. Only for sleet wheat to, suddenly appear and get us the extra 18 sleet wheat we needed to finish this farm over here. So all of that was, well, a dramatic waste of time. And this was put down to expand the arbor tree population, which, how many seeds we've got? In case we wanted to use the seeds for something. We have 103 arbor acorns, so that worked. Nice. We should probably sweep that up at some point. Why not? Oh, nope. Pip egg can stay. And down here, you know what? These are reserve backup generators. I don't think we need them anymore, but they can stay for now. And we're slowly going to replace everything with plastic. Well, all the floor tiles anyway. Soon the place will be just that tiny little bit more efficient. All it took was 2,357 cycles. Well, doesn't that look neater? All plasticated up, and most of the natural tiles are gone. This over here used to be our kitchen. Well, we used to have the cooker here, and this is where we would store all our food. That is no longer the case. That can, actually, all of that can go. We'll just brick that across. This over here used to be our evolution chamber for our hatches, but we no longer need that either, so let's get rid of that. We'll put in a pitcher pump here, and we'll move all that water down to the water tank. We could drill a hole all the way down, but that's just too much effort. I think the duplicants can carry it back and forth. Takes slightly longer to do it, but it does require less effort on our part. Then once we've got that done, that water looked like it was going to take a fair while, so we decided to expand the amount of water pumps down here demanding water. That should speed things along nicely. Oh, and I should maybe get rid of some of these plants in here. The problem is the temperatures are all fluctuating all over the place, which is the problem we are here to solve. Right now I was going to just expand this cooling loop. It is unfortunately under a lot of stress. It's set to 20 degrees, but it's at 27, because these steam turbines have been running flat out all day, every day, since we dumped a whole bunch of hot igneous rock in there. We dumped in all the hot igneous rock from down here, which was 10 to 1200 degrees, and we're currently dumping lots of hot igneous rock from down here. It's only 500 degrees. That's still a lot of heat. So maybe we'll expand that cooling loop maybe a little bit later. We've got other things we can take care of while we're waiting for that to just chill out just a scooch. Ooh, rectlets. Yeah, what we're doing at the moment is anytime we get eggs out of here, they keep getting migrated up to our critter pile. I feel like I should maybe put that on water so they don't move around so much, but there is just so much potential meat up there. Oh, and yes, there's a gap here. That gap is on purpose, so this is not a sealed room. Otherwise, these things would start getting depressed and wouldn't reproduce. It's why that hole is there. Okay, with all of that finished, what's the next plan? Oh yeah, the Atmo suit docks. Yeah, damn it, okay. What we're going to do here is just wire this in a bit, and what I want to do is, well, we're going to imagine that the oxygen piping from up here is going to change, but down here it should remain fairly constant. What I want to have happen is one full pipe of oxygen going to 10 Atmosuit docks, and then one pipe going to all three of them. So we have 3 sets of Atmosuit docks, each with 10 in it. Each one gets a full pipe of oxygen, and maybe have some overflows going on so they can help each other out if any of them are backing up. Then we just got to figure out how to wire it. But we can't rip it all out and then put it back in, because duplicants are currently using it for breathing, so we gotta do this cautiously. This stuff is just such a mess. I'm gonna rip it out. I don't care. If the duplicants get a little bit oxygen starved, we'll put in some oxygen diffusers using algae. I don't care. It's just, this is too messy. We have to figure out how to fit it in. Also, at the same time, we have to make sure we keep them... we can't have any gas pipes passing through those natural tiles, or it'll destroy this room bonus. I mean, room bonus is not essential at this point, but it would be nice to keep it. We've had it this long. Okay, how are we going to configure all 3 of you so that each one is supporting a separate Atmosuit dock with some overlap? This might be a tad tricky. A tiny little adjustment that I normally don't do, but I've started doing is sticking gas tanks on here. See, these gas reservoirs should hopefully stockpile a little bit of oxygen for when we have a high demand moment and there's just not enough backed up in the system. Now, we've got one before each one of these Atmosuit docks. Is it necessary? Probably not, but I'd like to try it. I've always had a suspicion that it might help even out flow just a little bit. Now, that means we have all 3 of them set up on a different line. This line here, the main one coming down on the left-hand side, goes to the front, middle one goes to the second one, and the one on the right goes to, well, the right one. Now I just gotta figure out how we overflow some oxygen into each other so that they can support each other. When you're trying to manage putting together piping and doing complicated stuff like this, there's that whole analysis paralysis thing that gets you, and then just, the only way I've found around it is just budget. Just do it the way that's reasonably efficient, but may not work out perfectly and you can fix any problems later. So, we have 3 lines, and we want to distribute the oxygen throughout the base, but we want to draw evenly from all 3 lines. So let's just say we take the right line and put it for the right side of the base, because the right side of the base barely has anything in it, and the duplicants won't be there much anyway. And then for the left side, which is the majority of the duplicants, we're going to split the lines evenly. So middle line takes this floor, left line, or the leftmost line, let's call them the left and right line. Right line takes this floor, left line takes next floor, right line takes next floor, left line takes this floor, and basically alternate. Every floor gets alternated between which line it pulls off. Will the duplicants spend equal time on each floor and draw evenly? Probably not, but it'll give us a rough estimate, and if we have any problems, we can go manage it later. For now, though, I do need to make some break-off points on the other side. Right now, every single line, every single floor is getting a break-off point from our lines over there. This side also needs one, so... we'll put one there. Every second floor should be sufficient for this side, considering there's very few things over here. And, yep, one in the trees. Why not? Because the trees probably want some oxygen. And done. Well, once you put in the gas vents, and that should be the end of that. There is always the opportunity for overflow or underflow. For example, what if this line was not getting enough oxygen? How do we fix that? Well, since this is all coming off this one line, these two lines here are untouched. So what we could do is maybe grab both of these lines and feed them over here. And then we'll put on a bridge like this. That way, half of the outputs of both these lines will get sent across here and try and feed onto that line. If there's nothing on the line, then, or if it's full already, then nothing happens. There'll be no draw on either of those two lines. If it becomes empty, it will draw from those lines, meaning this will be the prioritized Atmo suit dock. Is it closest to the top of the base? Is this really necessary? Probably not, but I'd just like to make sure, and let's see if it works there. Yep, half the output is splitting off there. That should be... and... done. That way that place is always good to go, and it goes after the oxygen tank. So it's only if the oxygen tank is empty and causes a gap that this thing will be necessary, which I think is about right. Alright then we just got to do the same down here, though. We might want to wait a minute or two. Yeah, these Atmo suits are still filling up. It's going to take a while. How are we looking here? Yeah, 200 kilos for each one of these. It might take a little bit of time. Instead, let's get started on our next project. This area around here needs to go. This thing, it's too hot. And it needs to be chilled. And I want to dump about 5 or 6 steam turbines on top and see how long it takes. That's gonna take a little while to do. I'm just gonna put that at priority 6. The duplicants can do that, and some of the duplicants can't mine the obsidian and stuff, so let's instead have them do a little bit of construction projects on the side. Oh, and one of the oxygen tanks is full, finally. Let's see how everything else is doing. Okay, system has backed up to about here. It's to there. Still not all the way back up, but from what I can see, yep, you're constantly full of oxygen, you're constantly full of oxygen. I'm going to wait till the system backs up the whole way before I put in the Atmo suits. It's just, it takes a little time to backfill everything. Yeah, whatever, we'll take the seeds. Now, there was a few things that need to be tidied up around here. Namely, I want to get in a little bit more automation. I'd prefer if the food over here was getting automatically transferred in. We've still got these things here. These wires, or these, rails are from when we were running hatches down there and the eggs were getting automatically sent over there for destruction. So yeah, that's done. Oh, those can all go as well. And where was it? Ah, yes, over here, where you're occasionally getting a larva egg showing up. Not one of the molten larvae, just a regular larva, because the larvae out of here, or the molten ones, would hatch. They'd live long enough to drop an egg, and sometimes it would drop a larva egg, which then gums up this whole system down here. Let's just fix this really quickly. Steel. Oh, let's just make it a niobium. What is the range on this sucker? Yeah, to there. Easy peasy. Then, now, any eggs that drop or get dropped anywhere in here will get scooped up, chucked into the conveyor loader, and dumped right back into the evolution chamber. No muss, no fuss. Don't have to worry about any problems up there anymore. Should have done that ages ago. Then we do want to get this meat. Like, our duplicates have to come over here and grab the meat and bring it back to base. That's pointless. We should have that automated for them. I should have done all of this a long time ago, but you get distracted by things, so we're going to put down, say, an auto sweeper right there, and we're going to grab a conveyor rail and make that out of niobium, because we've got more niobium than pretty much anything else. Then we got to figure out some way of snaking that towards our storage for our meat storage. There, very straightforward. It just runs up here, goes through a filter, and then all the meat gets sent up here and into storage, where it can get turned into lovely frost burgers. Then any eggshells get filtered out here and sent down and dropped beside this rock crusher, which turns eggshells into lime. Oh, we just actually have to set them up, though. Perfect. All right, eggshells already getting filtered on. Let's just make sure that works. Yep, perfect. That means that's food transport from there done. That does leave this section over here. We can stick in at quick transport grid in this section, too. Beautiful. Now, we don't have any cooling loops going through here, so in theory, these things will generate a little bit of heat all the time, and eventually overwhelm the chill in here, and eventually get it too warm. I think, though, we'll be fine for at least a few thousand cycles, so maybe we'll just leave that as it is. This comes all the way across here, takes a right, comes down here, and plugs in with the rest of the stuff. So the meat and the sleet wheat all comes in that way. Oh. The meat, the sleet, and we've got a waterweed farm over here that is also plugged into the grid. So all the waterweed that's produced over here also comes across and get plugged in there. At the same time, we have also connected up this waterweed farm, the wild one. So the wild waterweed farm now also is plugged into the grid. This just cuts down on people's effort. Probably should have done this ages ago, but it didn't. That would have saved us a whole bunch of time. Over here we are almost done, actually. We've cored out most of this place. I kind of want to take all of these rocks and then just steam treat them until they're all nicely cool. At the moment, this place is still struggling. We keep dumping more and more rocks in here, and those rocks are making the place, well, hot. Really hot, and this steam turbine is struggling. That supercoolant has gone up by a whole degree. There's a lot of supercoolant in that loop, and all of it has been heated up by a degree. We're going to keep dumping heat in there, though, and eventually... Nah, it'll be fine. I mean, it might go up to 40 degrees or hotter, but we can live with that. If it keeps getting worse, I'll just stick in a second steam turbine. Or a second aqua tuner. Okay, down here. How are we going to destroy all of this heat? Oh, I should probably point out why we're doing all of this. I want to have it, when we leave and we take all the duplicants with us, I want to leave it so that the place is as automated as possible. So if you spawned in one duplicant, they could effectively run most of the base. There's a few ways, though, we're going to have problems. For example, like this desalinator, that requires human interaction, so that will shut down once all the duplicants are gone. Well, it won't be required anyway because the oxygen won't be needed and the oxygen won't be pumping. At the same time, down here, these oil wells, yeah, those oil wells will shut down because eventually there'll be no one around to depressurize them, so they'll eventually shut down too. Oh, actually, I want to deal with this. This has been something I should probably take care of. They keep dropping petroleum and crude oil. The crude oil we can just let go, but the petroleum needs to be filtered somewhere. Actually, I got a quick fix for this. This looks to be a perfect use case for one of those new plastium pumps. We can use a mini liquid pump, make it out of plastium because it won't melt down here. Now, we would normally just use a big liquid pump, but why? We don't need to make something out of niobium or terbium or steel or anything. We can just use that new swanky plastium. Normally if you tried to make one down here out of plastic, it would just immediately start overheating and getting damaged, but this stuff should be grand. It also goes to show just how little crude oil oil these things produce. There's a fair chunk of slicksters there. There's 24 slicksters, 5 molten, actually 6 molten. Never mind. Oh. As you can see here, the polluted water is getting filtered out by just a little liquid pipe element sensor. If it detects crude oil, opens the gate. And because it takes there's a lag of a second or one tick between each thing happening, it just dumps it all out. And then the moment the petroleum hits, the petroleum gets passed on nice and neatly, which we will feed onto the line going upstairs, where it can get burned off. Done! That means we shouldn't have to worry about mopping that stuff up anymore. Should have done this ages ago. Finished, and finished some more. Now, this stuff. Yeah, how are we going to sort you? So, basically lots of brute force cooling. We'll stick 4 steam turbines over here. This guy over here will have an aqua tuner which we'll use to cool down these 5 steam turbines. Like itself and the other 4. And same down here. That'll give us 8 steam turbines and then just see how long it takes him to kill stuff. We're not even going to temperature control this. We're going to just let the steam go and do what it does. Steam is going to be 1200 degrees to start, so that should be interesting. But it'll cool down rather rapidly. The real cooling is going to be... I suppose the aqua tuners are going to be working they're going to be working hard to try and keep this all cool, and I definitely think we'd want to be using super coolant. And I'm going to want to move all of the stuff that's over here into the center as well. I want every single scrap of this stuff steamed. What we've done is rather simple. We squished up all... Actually, we left some abyssalite behind somehow. We squished up all the stuff into the middle, and then we used a big spike to push it all the way to the top, and then we have all of the hot stuff sitting right there. A few hundred tons of the stuff. Not a massive amount, but a decent enough amount that it's gonna be uncomfortable to cool down. First thing I'm gonna do, prep these loops right here so you can plug in there. Will that actually work? Why is there no battery power? Hey, someone want to finish that last wire so we're plugged into the main grid? Oh, and one great thing about this, actually, I'll go over the conduction panels in a minute, but conduction panels are so... What temperature is that? Yeah, now that needs to go, like, now. If that pops in there, it'd be very uncomfortable. Actually, it's not exchanging a lot of heat. We're fine for now. Alright, someone, start moving that. Will that pump through? Ah, yes, quite handily. I was worried that it'd get stopped there, but yep, never mind. Hey, we're going to put water into both of these, then we're going to start with the supercoolant. Actually, might want to start putting on the supercoolant now, considering that one's already got some resources in it. You can go there, and oh, damn it. I forgot to put in the automation again. One moment. Well, water is in. Supercoolant is now filling up both of those loops. Once they're both full, we can start dumping in the water. Oh, and we should probably seal this in as well. I don't think anyone needs to go back in there anymore. There's a little bit of loose igneous rock. Don't care. Oh, and we're going to make sure that we can put in some plumbing here. We might want to get back in here to drop off some more rocks. This place is sealed? Yeah. Oh, and one of the great things about this is, even though this is a steam room, we're jointing in with heavy watt joint plates. We don't care. Everything around is vacuum. There's no liquid layers around here or anything. We're using those conduction plates. Conduction plates are passing through to cool down the steam turbine, so we don't have to do anything there. I mean, we don't have to worry about it conducting through, so we can just run power wires higgledy-piggledy. Saves a lot of effort. All right, we've got water coming in there. Oh, supercoolant, you can go. And we shall also empty out the last of that and bottle it up. We don't need any more supercoolant. Minor problem. Now I remember why I stopped making these 3 tiles high. I made this 3 tiles high so that it would match this. That was the only reason. It wasn't anything technical. And now I remember why we always make them 2 tiles high. Just you can put them in the water a lot easier. Because this is out of the water, it's not exchanging heat with the water, and it's just overheating. That is... It's okay, it's okay. We'll deconstruct you. Actually, do you have any... Oh, you have supercoolant in you, so no, we will not deconstruct you. How do we sort you out? Actually, we'll flicker you on and off until you stop having supercoolant in you. Then we can deconstruct you. The solution here is pretty simple. We're just going to put in a layer of igneous rock tiles instead, forcing all the water off. Temperature shift plate will still work with it, and it's still insulated around the outside. Not that we really need to technically insulate this, I suppose. I'm just worried that if gas does break in, it'd be a problem. Most of these insulated tiles are kind of unnecessary because we're just working entirely in a vacuum. All right, anyone want to get around to making that aqua tuner? Because I don't want to let... There's a bunch of thermium right there. That's 1300 C. It's 800 kilos of it. So I'm not putting in any tiles there until that thermium is gone. Because otherwise it might flash some of it to steam, and then it'll get in here, and then this whole thing would be a mess. So let's just... Wait, no. Damn it, never mind. They didn't use the thermium that was there. Oh, god damn it. See? See? This was what I was worried about. Fine. Just fine. Well then, we will just have to do this and seal all of this stuff back in again. I'm not even sure how that happened. It shouldn't have happened. I think some hot igneous rock went in there or something. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. We'll condense this steam, we'll sort something out, and someone get that out of here. Just, like, immediately. Just get rid of that thermium. I don't want it in there reheating the steam. Muppets. While the steam is a little bit annoying, it shouldn't be a big problem. Namely because we've just turned on these coolers here. They're going to super chill down all of these steam turbines to about minus 200 degrees. At which point, we shouldn't have to worry about any of the steam in here. It'll instantly turn to ice the moment it touches and stuff. Because it seems to be... Oof. It's definitely getting some heat from down here. Yeah, this stuff's a little bit warm in places. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just let the supercoolant kick in for a bit. Then we're going to start dumping water into this section to start running this. It's just I want to have the steam turbines prepped before we kick this off. Ah, good. Now let's take down the temperatures to icy, icy blue before we even think about throwing in some steam in here. Despite our steam setbacks, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. Slowly we'll bleed it out. We've maybe... Actually, let's get rid of some of these rocks out of here. I deconstructed all those tiles that were lying around, but just to reduce the amount of heat in the system. Why not? Well, you can all go away. What we'll do is we're going to start chucking the water in. Why not? These steam turbines are looking mighty chilly. This guy's minus 70 to minus 50, minus 46, minus 50. Oh, this one up here, that's a layer of supercoolant. That was also completely accidental. I ended up with a blob in the pipe and it got into the wrong location. My bad. It doesn't seem to be causing too many problems. I'll worry about it some other time. Right, how do I fill this again? Oh. Oh. Damn it, okay, fine. We'll have to run it all the way to the end, and then, like, plug it in from there, I suppose? Yeah, that's probably it. I was thinking about just cutting across, and then I realized, no, I've sealed everything in. You know what? Yeah, this will be fine. Fine. I can cut in here right now. Deconstruct that. Put in a couple of bridges. Nope, 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 nope. That would shorten the cooling loops and I'd have to make some changes. Yeah, we'll just go the long way. We will go the long way. It is fine. Right, we're starting to fill the system, finally. Water will come in around here, go all the way around, plop down here and land right on top of the many hot rocks that are in there. 11 to 1200 degrees. Yeah, I think this is probably overkill. Oh, I should have put an niobium block under that, shouldn't I? What? We can still do that. Put a tile right there, put some niobium underneath it, and perfect. There we go. Just needs a little bit of gas pressure to get all those steam turbines running. 260, 200. Yeah, you need to get hotter. We want more steam, hotter steam. 250, 270. That's more like it. That's the kind of steam pressure we're looking for. Yeah, our cooling loop's going to have a problem keeping up with this, but that was sort of the point. We wanted one aquatuner for 4 steam turbines to do the maximum amount of heat deletion as quickly as possible. What are you guys doing? Yeah, they're still cleaning up that mess. Water pressure is looking a bit light. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. Temperature 290 there. Yeah, that's perfect. That should hopefully drain the heat out of that pretty rapidly. We don't need the power, of course, but it's the principle of the thing. Well, this has started well. There's been a few minor problems. This heavy watt joint plate does appear to be interfering with the steam turbine. I have no idea what the physics behind that is. It's touching the bottom of it? The sideways one seems okay. Let's check. Yeah, like the conduction panel is not touching it, so it shouldn't matter. Well, that's fine anyway. We are going to... buggery. Napta. Yeah, there was plastic in there, wasn't there? Well, that's fine. We can mop this up. We can break in here. Why is that napta spreading out so much? It's that steam. That steam is causing problems. Alright, now, when I break this open, napta, I want you to stay there. Just don't move. I want you to stay exactly where you are. If you move, that would be really inconvenient. Then, down here, how are we going to manage this? See, I want to replace that with something else. How? How is it? Okay, you know what, priority 9? Nope. Nope. How did the steam get out? Just, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Seriously? It's an emergency. Where's the person coming from? Were they in the John and they got a phone call and it's like, hey, we're down here and we need a hand. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And come on, just finish it off before we lose any more steam. Done. Right. And that's fine. We're just not going to replace that steam turbine. I would really like to get rid of that heavy watt joint plate though. But then that would cut those guys off. Actually, I'm an idiot. I could have just went like this. And that would have been the end of it. Let's give this mess a little bit of time to sort itself out. In the meantime, I'm going to take all that steam and I'm going to pump it all into this corner. Namely because it's surrounded by a bunch of icy cold steam turbines, it should turn into ice, or well, it'll disappear. It'll stop being a problem for us. I let this run for a bunch and everything's doing really well. Like the stuff in here is already down to 200 degrees. Well, okay, the steam's down to 200 degrees. The rocks are a little bit hotter than that, but not too bad, to be honest. Some of them are down as low as 500 already. Some of them 400, 300. Perfect. All right, though there is some minor complications elsewhere. Oh, and we got rid of the steam by using little gas pumps. We pumped it all into this corner in some insulated pipes. Before I remembered that it didn't matter because it was always going to be below a kilo of pressure anyway. But we pumped it over here, it got dumped into this section, and the steam turbines are, well, minus 100 and something. So they basically froze everything instantly, meaning it was all just carted away as solids. Problem solved. However, this place over here is still running into problems. You see, the issue we face is temperature keeps going up. Now that's not so bad. As long as it stays below 275, nothing's going to break. And we could replace several of the things. Actually, that could be replaced. The only thing that couldn't be replaced is the metal refineries and the glass forge. We can't replace any of those with something with better temperature resistance. 275 is their limit, but everything else can be replaced with niobium. That puts it up to about 575. So we have room. The problem we face over here is it's the supercoolant. The supercoolant is set to go to 20 degrees. However, it's at 36.5. It has gone up by over 16 degrees because the steam turbines are generating so much heat. I mean, if we check let's see, the coolant loop. It pops out of here, it goes out at 22.6, still 22.6, gets all the way around, cooling this stuff, 22.7, goes past the plastic presses. We're up to about 27, 28 degrees right there. Actually, let's just double check here. 28 degrees. Then, after it passes our steam turbines, it's gone up to 36 degrees. That's an 8-degree increase, a little bit more actually, every time it passes by those steam turbines, because they're just dealing with so much heat. I've even plugged in an extra steam turbine over here. This one right here was actually originally for draining water out of this system to keep the pressure in here below 20 kilos. We've cut down to one steam turbine, and this one's job is just to start deleting heat. Won't help us actually over here. Oh, wait. How do I explain my thinking on this one? You see, steam turbines are a bit weird in how they delete stuff. Let's give you some round number example. Like just say you feed it 195C steam, right? It'll reduce that stuff down to 95 degrees and give you water, meaning it deleted 100 degrees of temperature from that water. But that 10% of that, or as in 10 degrees of that cooling that you've just done, will actually be spit out the top of the steam turbine. Meaning you've deleted 90% of the heat, but 10% you still have to deal with, which is where the aquatuner comes in. However, if you fed it, say, 295 seawater, you'd be deleting twice as much heat because you've actually got to reduce that stuff still down to 95C. That means twice as much heat is going to be spit at the top. Feed it 395C water, 3 times as much heat deletion. 495C, 595C, and up and up and up. So even though we could add on more steam turbines here, we would drive down the temperature in this room faster, which would be great, but we'd still be effectively deleting the same amount of heat out the top. So the more steam turbines we add on does not take the pressure off this aquatuner. The only thing that takes the pressure off this aquatuner, which is trying to cool down this supercoolant, is to put on another aquatuner, which I think, you might be able to squeeze one. Let's squeeze one in. Why not? We'll put in a second aquatuner. It'll make this area a little bit warmer, and we'll replace it with thermium. Yeah, thermium aquatuner there should totally sort that. So this is going to be an interesting addition to the plan. This guy's going to cool it down to 20C. If it hasn't cooled it down to 20C, this guy's going to take a shot at it too. So now, if we've done this correctly, what should happen is the supercoolant will come down here, flow through this, then out this section, in there. Go. Yeah. Perfect. It's coming out at 8C. Well, that is a thing that is happening. Right. So currently it's at 36.8C. If we can drive the coolant down a little bit further, I'll feel more confident. It's just right now I wanted to use this to cool down this water in here to temperature regulate this base. Kind of difficult to do that if this is struggling to handle just the heat we've put in here already. 24 degrees. I've even stopped putting in more hot rocks. There's just too much. There's a lot. There's just so much. That was pretty fast acting. We're at 33.4C already. That was at 37 it capped out at. Huh. Aquatuner's even turned off. Nice. I think that just about does us for the day. Over here I was thinking this cooling loop is just a little bit too cold. It's coming out sometimes at 6 degrees, sometimes it's coming out at 20 degrees. Like trying to cool down this water with it, we don't know where we'd end up. So we might run sort of a cooling loop that draws heat from this as necessary. It would be... No, that's for the next day. I was feeling a little bit tired this week. It's sort of like a little bit worn out. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? So I checked my Steam hours. Over the last 2 weeks, I've averaged something like 65 hours a week gaming. That excludes all the editing and stuff that's going on. So that seems a little higher than average. I think maybe this game is taking a few more hours to get the episodes out, but it's not giving me nearly as much footage. I'm going to have to be cautious about that. Otherwise, I'm just going to be a little bit too sleepy. Definitely making mistakes. Ooh. I wonder what happens if we dig this up. I'm curious if this will, just turn into 100 tons, because that's the maximum amount allowed, or it'll break it. Let's get someone in here. All right. Now, you see, there's no difference in the amount of time it takes to mine. Yeah, I love the way they're smiling like crazy. Right, when you dig this out, it might just turn into a 100-ton tile. Or will it turn into a maximum amount of... Oh, you know what? Let's just find out. All right, go for it. Oh, man, it turned into 100 tons. Is that it? That's... No, I refuse to accept that. That is not... That means we lose all the mass. Okay, no. I think I'll reload it. And maybe we can break it with pressure. If we do it with pressure, does that keep the mass, maybe? Oh, no! I don't want to lose all of that. Nope. I'm gonna do some experiments on the side to see if there's any way to keep that mass. Like maybe if we put in a whole bunch of high pressure liquid on one side, we can crack it with pressure damage, or... No, I think you might have lost it. I didn't think of that. But there's like 2,832 tons in there. Could you imagine how many happy hatches that would make? Also, putting that into the rocket would just be hilarious. Okay, we'll worry about that later. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.